Hello guys, how are you? My name is Igor and we are going to continue our reflections about the youth development process. So as you can see here, the production is permanent and the demand is annual. So year by year the player keeps moving towards the bottleneck. That's the main point. So right now we just left the foundation phase, the most important phase, but in many cases the preliminary phase, the foundation phase, the preliminary phase is the most neglected. It's sad, but it's true. They don't get the best coach for this phase. So right now we are the U12. So we are here, the U12, the beginning of the development phase. I mean, based on what you got in your foundation, now it's time to specialize it. The specialization time is right now, and here the U12, it's the beginning of the problem. So look at the U14, U16. You can see the problem right here. So at U12 is the beginning of the puberty, and this will change everything. Boys, testosterone. Girls, estrogen. So plus emotional issues, because your limbic system will be ready before your prefrontal cortex. Your brain gets ready from behind, and finish here in your forehead. So look at this slide right here. U14. Now you start to, you have a new body, you have new hormones, you have new emotions, new way to see things, new behaviors. You start to understand a little bit more about, or a little bit better about money, success, all these things. So you start to have a real and new expectations, like I'm a teenager, I'm not a kid anymore. And as the real life starts to come, the real frustrations start to come as well. And deal with frustrations is something you have to learn since the very beginning. So 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, since the very beginning, you have to start to learn to deal with frustrations. So, and as of life, soccer is a frustration machine. And if you didn't have the opportunity to deal with frustrations at the age of the 5, 6, 7 years old, now as a U14, it's going to be really hard, very hard, and to face, the first window of transition, right here. The first window of transition. And as any transition in life, many kids will quit, and leave right here. Many parents start to lose control right here, U14. Especially those that didn't do the homework, since 5, 6, 7 years old. So right here, U14, U16. I don't know why, but here in USA, if you look your local club, your community club, a lot of kids give up here at U16. And the amount of players drops a lot. When you compare U10, U12, and U16, you can see the numbers, the big difference. It's a big difference in number of players. So it's important to think about it. Let's look this slide right here. No, this is unbelievable. Suicide. Look at the numbers. Look what happens after 14 years old. Look the 15, 24 years old. How it changes from 493 to 6,000 something. So after 14 years old, it's more than 10 times. As I said, that's the real first window of transition. First window of transition of the individual. So it's more than 10 times. It's from CDC data. It's 2022. It's official data. I always thought by myself, that U14, U16 were the most challenging and complex age group. But I had no idea about these numbers. It's literally crazy numbers. And nobody talks about it. So what's going on with teenagers nowadays? Look at that. So we all know that this age group, U14, U16, is a window of transition. Lots of new frustrations. As I said before, new everything. And why? Why are they having a hard time to deal with frustrations? They don't have to pay bills. They don't have to buy food. They don't have to keep their jobs to pay mortgage. So what is the problem to deal with basic frustration at this age group? So why 10 times more? It's just a simple coincidence. So let's look the next slide here. The number is crazy, but it's even crazier with boys. Look here. Girls from 2 to 6. Boys from 3 to 22. What is completely madness. What these numbers show us, again, in my opinion, my reflection, what these numbers show us again, U14 and U16 is for sure the most challenging and complex age group. And I'm shocked by, the emotional and social foundation right here. Remember, golden age, something there is wrong. And I think because of that, the bomb explodes here after 14 years old with this, first window of transition in life. Maybe, I don't know, boys are testosterone, girls, oxytocin, estrogen. So maybe something in relation to that, I don't know. So that's why the boys' number are even crazier. Maybe, I don't know. But, guys, I'm gonna wrap up here our second part about youth development process. So it's really shocking, these numbers, when I start to study about this, to make this video, to share my reflections. I had no idea, completely zero clue, that the numbers of suicide in the United States are so crazy. I literally, it's unbelievable, when you do the transition from 12, 13, 14 to 15, 16, when you have this little change, you have from 400 to 6,000. The number of suicide in teenagers here in the United States are completely crazy. Nobody talks about it, and I'm shocked. As a soccer coach, as someone that I'm dealing with kids every day from UA, U10, U12, U14, U16. I always thought the U14 and U16 were the most difficult and complex, but I had no idea about these numbers. And I suspect people have no idea how the numbers of suicide, teenager suicide in the United States are completely crazy. It's sad. I don't know why nobody talks about it, but something big is wrong with the first, childhood process, because they are having a very hard time. They are in trouble to deal with the first frustrations, real frustrations in life. So thank you so much, guys. Any questions, send emails, be free. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.